Women's experience of sex is shaped far more by emotional safety and context than by physical mechanics alone, and understanding this changes how intimacy is approached, communicated, and experienced. While anatomy and physical stimulation matter, they do not operate in isolation. The mind and body are deeply connected, and for many women, the emotional environment acts as the gateway through which physical pleasure can even begin. Without a sense of safety, the body often remains guarded, limiting relaxation, arousal, and enjoyment. Emotional safety means feeling respected, unpressured, and genuinely wanted rather than evaluated or rushed. When a woman feels that her boundaries are understood and honored, her nervous system can relax. This relaxation is not just emotional, it has direct physiological effects. Blood flow, muscle relaxation, and sensitivity are all influenced by whether the body perceives a situation as safe or threatening. If there is anxiety, fear of judgment, or concern about performance, the body may prioritize self-protection over pleasure, even if the partner's intentions are positive. Context plays an equally powerful role. How intimacy begins, the tone of communication, and the events leading up to sex all shape the experience. A kind conversation, shared laughter, or feeling emotionally close earlier in the day can significantly enhance receptivity. Conversely, unresolved conflict, feeling ignored, or emotional distance can make physical closeness feel confusing or uncomfortable. Sex does not start at the moment of touch. It often begins hours earlier through emotional connection and attentiveness. Many women also experience desire as responsive rather than spontaneous. This means arousal can grow after intimacy begins, rather than appearing fully formed at the start. Emotional safety allows this gradual process to unfold without pressure. When there is an expectation that desire must be immediate, women may feel something is wrong with them, which can create anxiety and further disconnect them from their bodies. Understanding that desire can develop slowly helps normalize women's experiences and removes unnecessary self-criticism. Another important factor is feeling seen as a whole person rather than just a body. When a woman feels valued for her thoughts, feelings, and presence, physical intimacy often feels more meaningful. This sense of being emotionally recognized can intensify physical sensations, making sex feel warmer, deeper, and more satisfying. In contrast, when attention feels mechanical or goal-oriented, even technically correct actions may feel empty or uncomfortable. Cultural messages also influence emotional safety. Many women grow up receiving mixed signals about sexuality, pleasure, and responsibility, which can create internal tension. A supportive, understanding partner and a non-judgmental atmosphere help counteract these messages, allowing women to explore intimacy without shame. Over time, repeated experiences of safety and care build confidence, making it easier for women to express preferences, needs, and boundaries. Ultimately, for many women, sex is not just something that happens to the body, it is something that happens within a relationship, a moment, and a feeling of trust. Emotional safety and context do not replace physical mechanics, they activate them. When safety is present, the body is freer to respond, pleasure becomes more accessible, and intimacy transforms from a physical act into a genuinely connecting experience. Arousal for straight women often builds gradually and is closely tied to feeling desired, respected, and understood, rather than appearing instantly or independently of context. This gradual nature of arousal is rooted in both physiology and psychology. For many women, the brain plays a central role in sexual response, meaning thoughts, emotions, and perceptions directly influence how the body reacts. Feeling emotionally connected and valued helps create the mental conditions necessary for physical arousal to develop naturally. Unlike the common myth that desire should be immediate and obvious, many women experience what is known as responsive arousal. This means interest and physical readiness often emerge after intimacy has begun, not before. Feeling desired in this context does not mean grand gestures or exaggerated behavior. It means sensing genuine attention, attraction, and presence. When a woman feels that her partner truly wants her, not just the act itself, her body is more likely to respond positively over time. Respect is another critical element. Respect shows up in how boundaries are handled, how pace is managed, and how consent is communicated. When a woman feels respected, she does not need to stay mentally alert for discomfort or pressure. This sense of ease allows her nervous system to shift away from vigilance and toward relaxation. Physiologically, relaxation supports blood flow, sensitivity, and comfort, all of which are essential for arousal to deepen. Even subtle signs of impatience or entitlement can interrupt this process, making arousal harder rather than easier. Feeling understood adds another layer. Understanding comes from listening, curiosity, and emotional awareness. When a partner pays attention to verbal and nonverbal cues, it reinforces the feeling of being emotionally seen. This reduces self-consciousness and allows a woman to stay present in her body instead of monitoring how she is perceived. Presence is crucial because arousal is difficult to sustain when attention is divided between sensation and worry. The gradual buildup of arousal also explains why environment and timing matter. Stress, fatigue, unresolved conflict, or feeling emotionally distant can delay or dampen desire. Conversely, feeling supported earlier in the day, sharing positive interactions, or experiencing emotional closeness can prime the body for intimacy later. These factors are not distractions from sex, they are part of how arousal develops for many women. Importantly, gradual arousal is not a flaw or a lack of attraction, it is a normal variation of sexual response. When women feel pressured to perform desire quickly, they may internalize unnecessary doubt or guilt. Removing this pressure often allows arousal to unfold more organically. Patience, reassurance, and mutual responsiveness tend to be far more effective than urgency. Over time, repeated experiences of being desired, respected, and understood build trust. Trust shortens the distance between emotional comfort and physical response, making arousal easier to access. In this way, arousal for straight women is often less about technique and more about connection. When emotional signals align with physical touch, desire grows naturally, and intimacy becomes both more satisfying and more sustainable. Communication, pacing, and mutual responsiveness strongly influence pleasure and comfort because sexual experiences are not static events but ongoing interactions. For many people, especially women, comfort and enjoyment depend less on a single action and more on how two partners adjust to each other in real time. When intimacy is treated as a shared process rather than a performance, both emotional ease and physical pleasure tend to increase. Communication does not always mean explicit instructions. It includes tone, attentiveness, and the willingness to check in. Verbal communication can be as simple as asking what feels good or expressing what one enjoys, but nonverbal cues are equally important. Changes in breathing, body tension, or movement provide valuable information. When a partner is attentive to these signals, it builds trust and reduces the need for constant explanation. Feeling heard and responded to allows a person to relax, and relaxation is essential for comfort and arousal. Pacing is closely connected to communication. Many women experience pleasure more fully when touch and intimacy unfold gradually rather than abruptly. Moving too quickly can cause the body to tense or the mind to disengage, even if there is attraction. A slower pace allows the nervous system to adjust, giving sensations time to register and build. It also signals patience and care, which reinforces emotional safety. When pacing matches comfort levels, physical sensations are more likely to feel pleasant rather than overwhelming. Mutual responsiveness ties communication and pacing together. This means both partners are actively paying attention and adjusting, rather than one person leading while the other follows passively. Responsiveness shows up in small ways, slowing down when a partner seems hesitant, changing pressure when something feels uncomfortable, or continuing what clearly brings pleasure. These adjustments communicate respect and interest, reinforcing the sense that both people matter equally in the experience. Pleasure is often amplified when partners feel free to express preferences without fear of judgment. When communication is open and responsive, individuals are more likely to share what they enjoy and what they do not. This reduces misunderstandings and prevents discomfort from escalating. Comfort grows when boundaries are respected consistently, allowing exploration to feel safe rather than risky. Another important aspect is emotional pacing. Sexual experiences are influenced by mood, stress, and prior interactions. Mutual responsiveness includes recognizing when a partner may need reassurance, patience, or a pause. Ignoring emotional signals can create disconnection, even if physical actions are technically correct. Responding to them, on the other hand, deepens intimacy and strengthens trust. Over time, good communication, thoughtful pacing, and mutual responsiveness create a positive feedback loop. Each experience becomes easier and more enjoyable because both partners feel understood and valued. Comfort increases, anxiety decreases, and pleasure becomes more accessible. In this way, intimacy evolves from a series of actions into a collaborative experience, where attentiveness and adaptability shape not only how sex feels in the moment, but how connected partners feel long after. First-hand experiences vary widely. There is no single normal way sex feels for all women. Every woman's body and mind respond differently to intimacy, influenced by a combination of biological, psychological, and relational factors. Expecting a universal experience ignores the diversity inherent in human sexuality and can create unnecessary pressure or self-doubt. Recognizing and accepting this variation is crucial for healthy sexual experiences, better communication with partners, and a realistic understanding of one's own desires and responses. Physiologically, women's bodies can respond in many different ways. Some may experience rapid arousal and intense physical sensations, while others may find pleasure builds gradually over time. Sensitivity varies across different parts of the body, and even the same type of stimulation can feel very different from one encounter to the next. Hormonal cycles, fatigue, stress, and overall health can also influence how pleasure is experienced, meaning that even the same woman may feel very different from one moment to another. There is no fixed template, and each variation is entirely normal. Psychologically, emotional state, mood, and mental focus play a significant role in shaping sexual experience. Feelings of safety, trust, and desire are often intertwined with physical arousal. A woman who feels connected and respected by her partner may experience heightened pleasure, while feelings of anxiety, distraction, or unresolved conflict can dampen sensations. Emotional experiences like intimacy, affection, and bonding may be as important, or even more important, than physical sensations themselves. This emphasizes that sex is not purely mechanical, it is a complex interaction between mind and body. Cultural and social influences also affect perception of normalcy. Women grow up with different messages about sexuality, pleasure, and gender roles, which can shape expectations and experiences. Some may feel confident exploring and expressing their desires, while others may feel hesitation or guilt. These social and cultural frameworks contribute to the diversity of sexual experience and highlight why one person's normal may differ dramatically from another's. Recognizing this diversity helps reduce shame and encourages open communication with partners. Experiential differences are further shaped by relational dynamics. The quality of the relationship, emotional closeness, and partner responsiveness all influence how sex feels. Women may respond differently to different partners or in different contexts. Factors such as trust, patience, attentiveness, and mutual understanding can significantly enhance or limit pleasure. A supportive partner who listens and adapts creates an environment where a woman can fully explore and enjoy her sexual responses. Accepting that there is no single standard also helps normalize variation in orgasm frequency, intensity, and type. Some women experience multiple orgasms, others have occasional climactic experiences, and some may find other forms of intimacy more satisfying. None of these patterns are abnormal, they are simply different ways the body and mind respond to sexual interaction. Recognizing and embracing this variety fosters healthier attitudes toward sexual self-image and encourages exploration without fear of judgment. Ultimately, understanding that first-hand experiences vary widely reinforces the idea that sexual pleasure is personal, situational, and dynamic. There is no universal formula, and what matters most is creating conditions, emotional, physical, and relational, that allow each woman to feel safe, respected, and free to explore her desires. By appreciating this diversity, individuals and partners can approach intimacy with curiosity, patience, and empathy, making sex a more fulfilling and authentic experience for everyone involved.